Hi everyone, I hope you're well. So you have hopefully done a starter worksheet which looks like this, and I'm going to go through the answers now. Then I'm going to talk you through this lesson's work, and then you are going to be doing a worksheet which I have attached on Google Classroom. Now the second worksheet does take a bit of explanation, so I have explained it on Google Classroom, but at the end of this video I will then again explain what you need to do. But the first thing is, let's go through this worksheet. So, a polythene rod can be given a negative charge. Explain how this is done. There are 2 marks available here. So to get the 2 marks, you need to talk about the fact that it is, if it has been given a negative charge, then it has gained electrons. Okay, that is the first mark. The second mark is for saying how it has gained electrons. So this is done through friction, normally being rubbed by an insulator. Okay, so given by friction. My cat's about to meow, so sorry if you hear that in the background. Right, she wants to go out. She's only just come in. Cats are very fussy. B, so a negatively charged polythene strip is freely suspended, as shown. A second negatively charged polythene strip is brought near to it. Describe and explain what happens. So, first mark is for saying they repel each other. So that is 1 mark, and this is because they have the same charge. For 1 mark. The second strip is replaced by a positively charged one. Describe and explain what happens. So next time, 1 mark for saying they attract. Why? Because they are now opposite charges. Can you hear that little meow? Don't know if you can hear that. Right, so that was the answers to that. Let's go on to today's work. So, where's my keynote? There it is. First thing is, here are some common symbols that you will find in our electricity topic. You may know some of them already. Fantastic if you do. I'd like you to pause the video. You don't need to write anything down for the time being, but pause the video and just see if you can identify them in your head. Okay, hopefully everyone's had a chance to do that, so let's go through. The first one, can you hear her meowing? Not now. So, apologies. First one is a switch. If you want to be specific, it is an open switch. You can see that. The second one is, you may have in your head said battery. I'm afraid that is not true. This individually is called a cell. A battery is the next one, and that is when there's more than one cell joined together. Okay, moving on to the next one. You have a bulb. You may also have seen the symbol for a bulb like this. Which looks a bit like a Pokeball, if anyone ever used to watch Pokemon. I prefer the one with a cross through, it's just slightly easier. Okay, next one is called a voltmeter, and it measures what we were talking about the other day, potential difference. And then we have an ammeter, which measures current. This square box is called a resistor. Not now. She's meowing and meowing in the background. She wants to go out to the garden again. Then we have this box with an arrow through it, which is called a variable resistor. Now, a resistor is something that slows the current down in a circuit, and a variable resistor is a resistor that you can change the resistance of. You can vary it. So it changes how much the current slows down. Does that make sense? And the final one, that M in a circle, is a motor. So something takes electrical energy and turns it into movement or kinetic energy. Okay, so as I say, you didn't really need to write any of that down. It was just going through, seeing what you remember if you've done in previous years. Today we are doing electrical circuits. So if you can title and date, that would be fabulous. And then obviously it's not the 10th of September 2019 today. Let's crack on. So let's look at the water model. Here we have a model, and I'm going to tell you some facts about it and how it relates to our electricity topic. Okay, the cat's jumped on my lap now. So I'm going to tell you some facts, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Again, you don't need to write anything down, but I do want you to think about the answers. If it helps to write things down, please feel free to. So here we've got a set of pipes that go around. You've got water flowing in them. You've got a pump here, which is providing the energy, and it's pumping the water around that little circuit. On the other side is a water wheel, which is turning. So it's going round and round and round. So it's taking the energy from the pipes, from the water, and turning. So, a couple of facts. The water is like the charge or the electrons. So the electrons flow around the circuit, as does the water. The flow of water is like the current. Remember, current is how fast those electrons are flowing. So the flow of water is like the current. The pipes are like the wires. The pump is like the cell or battery because it provides the push or energy for the water. The water carries kinetic energy, just like current carries electrical energy. The water wheel is like the bulb, as the energy from the water is used to turn the water wheel, like the electrical energy is used to light a bulb. Shh, I'm so sorry, everyone, that I keep shushing. It's not you I'm shushing, I'm shushing the cat. So how would you increase the rate of flow? How fast the water was moving? So how would you increase, looking at this diagram, have a little think, how would you increase how fast the water was flowing? Hopefully you would get a more powerful pump or a bigger pump in the same way that you might get a bigger battery with more cells in it. Explain how the speed of the water wheels would change if there was more than one wheel in the pipe. So now let's go back here and let's... Oh no, I didn't mean to do that, apologies. What am I doing? Let's draw another wheel on, shall we? So let's say there are now 2 water wheels here. How do you think one of those water wheels would change? Do you think it would be going faster? Do you think it would be going slower? Hopefully, you've got the idea that if you have 2 water wheels or 2 bulbs in a circuit, the current, the water rate would slow down. So if you increase the number of bulbs in the circuit, the speed of the water and the speed of that water wheel would slow down. So the current would slow down. So increasing the number of bulbs decreases the current. What would happen to the water wheel if the rate of flow was increased? So if you have more water going round and round and faster, what would happen to the water wheel? So hopefully you're happy that if you increase how fast the water was flowing, the water wheel would also increase its speed. So now we're going to talk about electricity in the next 2 questions. What happens to current when potential difference is increased? Now remember, hang on, let me just make this slightly smaller because it's a bit fat for writing. So remember, potential difference is the energy effectively carried by the electrons. So if I increase the energy, that's like giving it a bigger pump. So what happens to the current? It will increase. If I put more energy into the circuit, the electrons will go round faster. And I know that because we look at question number 1 here. How would you increase the rate of flow? I said give it a bigger pump. So it's like a backwards version of this question. Number 5. What happens to the brightness of bulbs if more than one is placed in series? Now what I mean is if you have one bulb, it would be quite bright. But if you have 2 bulbs next to each other, just like the idea of having 2 water wheels, it would be dimmer because that energy is having to be shared between them. They'd go slower if they were water wheels. Okay, that was quite enough of that. Now we're going to go on to this worksheet which I was talking about that I said I explained on Google Classroom. Where are we? Oh gosh, I'm writing on. Zoom in, not now. Shh. No, not now. Sorry, you're hearing me talking to my cat. We can discard that. Okay, so this is a worksheet. Now there are 4 different categories here. You have, and if I draw on them, oh my gosh, the cat is being very annoying. No. Oh, I don't know what I've done. Oh, okay, fabulous, right. So I will highlight all of the categories, the 4 different categories, for one thing. So here we have wire. Wire is the name of the component. I then want you to find the description of what the wire does, so the function of a wire. So you'll see here there are lots of different descriptions, but the one for the wire is, and I'm giving you the answer here, conducts electricity around the circuit. Fabulous. Then there are 2 final categories. One of them is a diagram. And this is a diagram for the wire. It is a 2D symbol, effectively. The second one is a picture, which is a 3D picture. So I have highlighted 4 boxes for wire. I've got the name, the function, a picture, and the diagram. And I would like you to do the same. Now, if you have a printer, fantastic. Can you please print this out, cut them out, and then stick them in obviously their different categories. If you do not have a printer, I would like you to still get the notes in your book. However, I do not care about the 3D pictures. Okay, so when you do it, you just need the name, the function, and the symbol. You don't need that 3D picture because it's a bit mean making you draw the 3D pictures. Okay, so I'll still need it in your book, but you don't need to do the picture. I will put the answers to this up later in the lesson. So please let me know if you're having any troubles. Thanks, everyone.